Now I would request Mrs. Ajita Kumari to hand over a token of appreciation to Mr. Vinay Shenoy. Now, let me take the privilege of introducing our second guest speaker for the day, Mr. Vikas Gautam, who is working as a Group Director of Corporate Application Engineering with Verification Group at Synopsys India Private Limited. He is responsible for driving and delivering verification product releases and deployment of Synopsys verification technology at customers in Asia Pacific. During his 16 years tenure at Synopsys, he has held multiple management positions with both research and development and CAE organizations. During this time, he has worked on development of bench technologies and also driving definition, development and rollout of verification technologies to the customers. So without a further ado, please welcome Mr. Vikas Gautam.
Yeah, thank you for the introduction. The article was handed off late and I have to tape out in next few weeks. So, yeah, I think when Srini invited me, and I think thanks Srini, it's a privilege to come here and address this august audience. I think when he invited me, I was thinking what should I come and present, and then we had some discussion. So at least I managed to put together a title which is thought-provoking, and I hope the content as well gets you, think about certain areas of verification. What I'm going to talk about is something that I've been working on. I've been associated with last couple of years at least, and let me start with a picture which is very familiar to all of us. Essentially, I think we all know there is the thing that's driving the overall semiconductor growth today is essentially the convergence, and it comes with its own challenges. Essentially, your SoC is becoming more and more complex. I think the illustration that you see there is a Tegra chip from NVIDIA, and as you can see, it's a typical SoC that you encounter today. You have multiple CPUs, then there are graphics and video processors, there are a host of peripherals that you have to deal with, and then there are the sensors that form the overall SoC. Now, this has clearly opened up new verification challenges. Clearly, the verification complexity has exploded. It has gone up exponentially. I think these SoCs, they go into consumer space. They are the SoCs that go into your mobiles or tablets or gaming applications or healthcare. So power is very important. And clearly, there is more and more software that's getting in there. And what's happening along with this is the time to market is shrinking. While the complexity, the demand on power efficiency and more software content goes in one direction, I think there is the time to market window that works against this overall complexity. To give you an illustration, it's very common to today see some of these verification environments that run into 10 to 20 million lines of code. They could go as high as sometimes 40 million lines of code. And this essentially is both a design and verification environment. So that's the kind of complexity that we are faced with today. So clearly, I think from a point of view of a verification team or a verification lead, the goal is to find bugs as quickly as possible, find them sooner, and also to be able to start validating your software early in the cycle. So clearly there's a need to shift left to be able to meet your time to market goal. For illustration, I'm using the products from Synopsys here. So essentially, these are the tools that you use today. And the requirement essentially is to be able to complete your verification as early as possible. So if I look back, I think there have been breakthrough innovations uh, uh, in the VLSI space. I think when Verilog came in, that brought in a significant amount of productivity in terms of your ability to describe your design, and I think the introduction of synthesis tools allowed you to start describing your designs at a higher level rather than having to describe at the level of gates. And then System Verilog brought in, I think System Verilog brought in single language at the time when you had fragmented verification approaches, fragmented tools and languages that existed. So that with the advent of System Verilog came in the next level of innovation that that brought in again multiple folds in productivity in terms of being able to deal with verification complexity and verify your design. If you look at, I think every 10 to 15 years, there has been a need to have a breakthrough in terms of the way we have been doing verification. So I think the question is, what's next? So my talk is an attempt to, I think, share with you what I think is the next breakthrough in verification innovation. This is a picture today. I think if you look at today, to be able to tape out the kind of SOCs right, that I showed you in the first picture, these are the various verification technologies that you work with. There's always, I think, some combination of these technologies you are dealing with today. And clearly, this itself brings its own complexity in terms of being able to deal with the tools, the methodologies, uh, getting them to work together, the bring up time. So there is an opportunity to significantly improve the productivity while dealing with this plethora of technologies that you use today to sign off your verification. So clearly there's a growing demand for smarter verification. There, I think we are seeing broader use of static and formal technologies. To illustrate, design teams, they typically would use minimum the lint checks or the static checks as part of their verification. There is a need for much upfront verification planning to be able to predictably sign off on the verification. There is a greater emphasis on automation in terms of reuse, how quickly you can set up a verification environment and start running your first few tests to be able to start progressing against your verification goals. I think there are needs of deploying some of the critical new technologies to illustrate some, how to catch X-related bugs early in the cycle at RTL rather than having to deal with them at gate level. Just one example. Now, you also need a common debug environment across all these domains. Right? That itself would provide a significant productivity boost. Then, lastly, each of these technologies have their own way of tracking the coverage goals. So essentially, what you need is an overall picture in terms of coverage closure, so that you have kind of a consistent coverage closure strategy as you start using these multiple technologies to sign off your verification. So if you look at current flows, they are limiting in a sense that there is a good amount, there's an inherent inefficiency in terms of performance and productivity, because there is a time that you go through every time you migrate from using one technology to another technology, and this really involves huge cost and effort. You have to deal with different debug environments you're working with. Static, you have one kind of debug environment you're dealing with. When you move on to simulation, there is a different debug environment, and there's a learning curve every time you have to deal with a new environment. So essentially, if you look at, while you deal with these diverse set of technologies, the challenges along with it, there is no single owner, there is no methodology today that tells you how these technologies are expected to interoperate with it. So it's kind of left to the verification teams in most of the cases to figure out through through their own experience, through scriptware, uh, through the expertise gained from the earlier projects, to put together some kind of interoperable methodology uh, to make all these set of tools and technologies work together. So essentially, I want to take this opportunity to introduce a verification compiler. This is something that we announced from Synopsys last month. And essentially, essentially, if you look at, these are the key areas or technology domains that you deal with today, right? I mean, your simulation is these. I mean, you're either using a combination of these technologies as part of your verification process, and there are hard boundaries today when you try to make these technologies work with each other. So essentially, what you get through verification compiler essentially is a single integrated product uh, through which you get access to each of these technologies, and at the same time you also get access to some of the next generation verification technology in the space of low power or formal or advanced SOC linting or clock domain crossing, these kind of technologies. And most importantly, these technologies are natively integrated. So to bring together efficiency in terms of being able to use them together, to have a unified methodology around these technologies, there is a native integration path that verification compiler defines. And I think it's a no-brainer that this really enables multiple folds of verification productivity, not having to deal with multiple tools and technologies in terms of setting up flows, the migration time from one technology to the next technology, and so on. So to give you some illustration, what I mean when I say native integration or these technologies working together, here's an example of our next generation static and formal platform. So when I say static or formal technologies, you're talking about technology in the space of low power, formal verification, SOC linting, clock domain, crossing checks. So today, if you see, you may, to be able to perform each of these static and formal checks, you may have to work, you have to use at least 2 or 3 different types of tools, right? And then each of these tools have their own flows. So using the verification compiler next static platform, there is a single interface where the design is inferred once, and then there's a logic database created for the design. And using the database, you could actually perform, or you could use the database and the common formats to perform either low power structural checks on the design, or use the same database to run some of the model checking or formal verification, or perform your simple SOC rule checking kind of checks. So some of the results that we have seen with this is clearly there is just purely by virtue of integration, right? And the fact that once you integrate, there are opportunities for memory optimization and performance optimization. We get 3 to 5x capacity and performance improvements. And since this works off a single database, I think there is an excellent opportunity in terms of ease of use and debug. Because now you are dealing with a single flow, and there are some redundant steps in the flow that are removed as a result of a single infrastructure on which each of these static technologies work upon. Sorry? Yeah. So these are static technologies, so the relevant coverage metrics are included as part of it. I think when you say functional coverage, I think probably you're talking more in terms of test bench and simulation coverage there, right? Yeah. But I think the static space also, and I'm going to talk a little bit about it later on. You can have your own, I mean, you can set up some of the coverage goals in the context of static. For example, formal verification, low power checks. So here's an example, right, when you have two technologies working together. So if you look at here, I mean, here's a power domain which was shut down, and there's an attempt to wake up. Uh, and w- and what happens is essentially it does not wake up as expected, and there's an X seen here. In your regular simulation, uh, I mean, because of the RTL semantics, this X most likely will not be propagated here. But through a combination of low power and XProp technology, this X actually gets propagated because of the XProp semantics used at simulation, and you are able to find this tough wake up bug at RTL rather than having to wait till gate level simulation to discover such a bug. Here's another illustration. So the simulation and VIP, there's an opportunity to essentially, once you integrate the two, and once the simulation knows about the VIP code that's getting simulated. When I say VIP code, I'm talking about the constraints, the coding style, the way they are written, and also the protocol model that's described there. There is an opportunity for the overall simulation environment to get optimized for performance. And again, here are some of the numbers that I wanted to share that we have seen as a result of the simulator being familiar with the VIP and the protocol model that's getting simulated. The third illustration that I can bring is the integration between the simulator and the debug. Today, if you were to, and as you can see from the picture here, there are clearly redundant steps here when you set up your design for simulation and debug. Right? I mean, there are redundant compiles that you go through. There is a redundant design database that you end up dumping today. With the tighter integration or the native integration between the two products, VCS and Verdi, as part of verification compiler, you can see how the overall flow is simplified. And so essentially, you compile it once for both debug and design database, and then clearly the other advantage you get is the consistency in terms of the design that you have written gets compiled the same way with both the debug and simulator. So essentially, I think if you look back, I think when System Verilog brought in unification of a lot of fragmented language-based and technology approaches by offering a single language. Clearly, right now, there is a need to be able to put together various verification technologies that exist that users use today. And the opportunity really is in terms of offering productivity by natively integrating these technologies. There's an opportunity in terms of being able to define methodologies once the engines know about each other, they talk to each other natively. And I think that's what I see is going to be the next breakthrough in verification innovation. At the same time, I think it's very essential, each of these technology pieces, they continue to also work themselves with other tools. I think that's very important. And particularly at Synopsys, we clearly believe that we need to continue to make sure each of these tools, they are interoperable the way they are today with the other verification tools that user community uses. An example is the Verdi debug technology. So we'll continue to support all major simulators, emulators, and common engines. Some of you who have been using Verdi would also know that Verdi also offers an interface called VIA, through which it's basically a set of C APIs and tickle calls, through which you can develop your own debug applications using this interface. So we recently had a forum, having a users forum last this Synopsys user group in San Jose last month, and it was very well received. The motivation behind continuing to support such an interfaces to improve debug efficiency. It essentially reduces the development time for the users, and users get control in terms of developing their own applications by leveraging the infrastructure that already offers to them. Some details on how you can get started. There is a website that talks about all of these apps that are available today, how you can contribute to these applications. There are examples and videos to train you if you wanted to develop your own applications depending on your specific verification needs. And let me close by sharing some of the user feedback that we have received on verification compiler. And I think these are some of the comments that we received that better integrated flows definitely reduce the cost of investment in diverse verification approaches. I think we are clearly at an inflection point in verification where not only we need new technologies, I think we need a good amount of integration, interoperability between the tools that are available today. And I think it's very important that these verification tools, they operate and work, they communicate seamlessly so that it becomes easier for verification engineers to adopt and use them as part of the overall verification process. So I hope I
just made it up.
I signed up verification on time. Thanks. I think this is a quick introduction to verification compiler, and I'm open to any questions. I'll be available here for next 1 hour, and we can surely discuss very detailed.
Just big change in the agenda will have tea break now.
I think your question is more in terms of the compute power that can be utilized to quickly turn around your regressions, the long-running tests. Is that your question? So I think if you observe, I think we speak about simulators and I think various tools getting improved by several lives over years and years. I think we have to also realize underlying hardware also has made progress in terms of being able to run tests, being able to accommodate much bigger designs right today. So again, I think coming back to your question, is your question on
we talked about one technique here by seamlessly integrating the tools, cutting down on improving the flows or point tools to kind of chain of tools into one database.
Right.
That's one thing, right? So the other areas where we can see the improvements in the verification space or infrastructure is one thing. I think the people are coming up with, even Synopsys and other companies have tried out the cloud to improve the to access more compute cycles therefore to run your verification, right? And I'm asking are there any other alternatives to question mark, to answer your question mark, right, that we have been discussing? What's next?
So what's the reason? Okay, so again, what is the specific problem that you're looking at solving? Is it access to more hardware resources through cloud? Is that what you're...
And how to improve the verification efficiency? That's one point.
So clearly, I think each of the verification tool providers, they do recommend the specific hardware that you should be using depending on the kind of tools you are using, the way you are setting up your regression farms. So I think that's where I would suggest you should start with. There were attempts, I think, in the cloud from the EDA community. I think one of the challenges have been to deal with the IP, the customer IP, and I think that has been one of the, I would say, barriers in getting the cloud being adopted in the I think design and verification community.
Hi Vikas. For the verification compiler, if I understand correctly, is there any new technology you are introducing there, or is it more of a platform to bring together the various low power and formal tools, mainly cutting down on the time to integrate tools and the flow? So is it more from that angle, or is there any breakthrough technology which you are introducing in any of the point tools?
So actually it's both. So we'll continue to innovate in each of the technology spaces, whether it is low power static technology or formal or let's say even debug. So I think the engines then, so the overall integration will be I think as good as the individual engines. So it's very important that individual engines themselves, they meet the requirement, right, of a verification engineer or the specific verification problem they are expected to solve. I think what the integration offers is clearly cutting down or removing inefficiencies in terms of setting up or migrating from one technology to another technology. And then once you bring these technologies together, there is a collaborative effect that happens through which you can define methodologies where I think one technology understands the other because they're working off the same platform. And that opens up opportunities for innovation. So I think we have seen some of those opportunities when you bring the engines together. There are some new, I would say, new technologies that emerge. I can share, I think, which organization do you represent?
I work for
AMD. So I think if you're interested in more details, we can come and discuss with you and share some of these.
I'd just like to add to what you just said, because trying to answer that question. More from a verification point of view, is like bringing all these technologies together, it's more of an attempt to help the verification engineer choose the right technology for the right job, rather than using just VCS for everything in verification. Probably that's another attempt when you're trying to bring all.
Okay. So I think I tried staying away from the commercial and business aspect of it. But there's an advantage that you actually get access to all the technologies. And I think once you have access, it allows you to start thinking in terms of how to apply some of these solutions for a certain class of problems.
Truthfully, do you think that the simulators and the verification tools have kept up with the design complexity explosion that has happened over the last 3 to 5 years? Because I personally, when all these tools work very well when you're doing block level, but the minute you take it to top level, they just don't keep up. Because our simulation cycles run from days to weeks. And when we are working on critical tape out days, that is what brings us down, and that's what pulls us down. So what are we trying to do to?
So I must admit, I think the reality has been most of the EDA tools, I think they have been chasing the problem. I mean, the problem already existed, and then we kept working on developing solutions to solve the problem, and then the goalposts kept moving, the designs become more and more complex. I think one thing I can share from my own experience one thing that's worked very well is I think working very closely with the design and verification teams, the collaboration with the teams, getting an understanding of what they anticipate in terms of the kind of designs they are going to be working in next 2 to 3 years, the kind of verification challenges they anticipate.
I think,
but I agree with you. I think at large, the verification tools have been really chasing the.
well, I think the dependency on emulation has become quite large. I mean, we depend on emulation as top level to catch up.
And that's where I see the opportunity. I mean, that's where I have a job. So, and I think the only way it can work is to get visibility upfront into, okay, these are the kind of design, these are kind of, this is how you think you'll be verifying your designs. and then being able to be prepared when you start verifying your designs with the relevant technology. Relevant technology, relevant performance. I guess the specific problem you're referring to is a turnaround. Yeah, I mean, there hasn't been never enough performance, if you ask me. We will still see tests running for days, simulations running for weeks and months. So that really is an opportunity. Okay. Thanks again. Thanks for patiently listening. Thanks for the talk.
Thanks for your proactive presentation, Mr. Vikas Kautam. I would request Mrs. Ajita Tiwari to hand over a token of appreciation to Mr. Vikas Kautam. Now let's have a tea break for a short while and we'll get back with the things.